Welcome, everyone. I am Chris Gore. This is Hollywwod on the Rocks on a Wednesday. Let's get things started. Let's turn down the music. Somebody turn down the music. Also, where's my Marvels background? Alan, I was listening to the greatest political podcast in the background before the show. You missed it. Everyone missed it. What can you say? But here's what we're talking about today. So much to discuss. Here we go. Today on the show, we'll be talking about a bunch of different things. Monty Python and the Holy Grail is coming back to cinemas. And additionally, we're going to be talking about the Marvels. Is it going to flop? Alan has some insight. Alan saw a scene from the Marvels at D23. We're going to discuss it. Plus, remembering Gene Wilder, fabulous actor. Probably remember him as Willy Wonka. There you go. And Alan has Alan's Corner. Alan has a rant today. Alan has a rant about Disney's 100th anniversary. So let's get things started. Let's kick things off. And let's go. I'm a little out of it, folks. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little out of it today. So what can I say? I'm just going to go. So wait, that wasn't it. Let's go. Come on. Where is he?
It is amazing. She is the first female action hero ever in a movie.
Well, look, he's 19 years old. She's 32.
Whoa!
What can I get for you, sir?
A boob. At least one.
Great choice.
That's not it.
Alan! 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 Ow! Alan!
What's going on? Are the videos screwed up?
Well, you said there's something going on with StreamYard. I'm starting to believe it now.
Okay, yeah. So just to, this maybe is not interesting to everyone who's watching on the stream, and we appreciate you all tuning in. I was on the Nooner earlier, and then I did Dadcast, which is X-Ray Girl's show on her channel.
I saw that last night.
Yeah, I think you should be on Dadcast one of these days.
Well, I have a bone to pick with you.
What? I brought you up in a positive way.
Well, I appreciate that, but here, let's grab a clip.
What?
Here we go. We're gonna play this little clip here, and
what is it?
Let's go.
Thanks for having me on, and I'll see you tomorrow on the Nooner.
Yes, of course.
Of course. There you go.
Chris, do you have anything else coming up today, tomorrow?
Chris, do you have anything else coming up today, tomorrow, after the Nooner? What do you think Chris's answer was?
I forget.
Let's find out.
What did I? Oh my God.
Coming up today, tomorrow, besides the Nooner, of course.
No.
Did you edit that?
Yeah.
Editing software.
Thanks for promoting the show. We're inching our way to 100,000 subscribers, and thanks for taking your free opportunity to promote the show and not promote the show.
I should have promoted film. I just feel like I promote it so much that I'm annoyed with me.
Yeah, heaven forbid we should get promotion.
No, but I get annoyed with promoting myself. So it's like, I whatever. Just, my channel.
Promoting the Film Threat YouTube channel. Hollywwod on the Rocks.
Film Threat. All right. Yeah. Okay. Just the people here know about it. But something is, I want to apologize to everyone watching. There is something wrong with StreamYard. The camera wasn't working. I had to reboot my whole system yesterday. Usually the settings are just kind of there. So stuff is screwed up. And even when we were playing the videos, something's going on with StreamYard. They even sent out an email alerting StreamYard users that the cameras, it didn't recognize certain cameras and certain audio equipment. So something screwed up. Hey, but we're here. We're excited to talk to you. I have a lot to share with you, and we're going to be talking about the Marvels. That was a last-minute change, and I apologize to Alan.
Yes, it wasn't on the list.
It wasn't on the list, which is my fault. I am accountable.
I know what is going on.
If we could add a little headline, one of the banners, if you could do a banner, Ms. P. Coffee, and Alan, if you could find a background, what I'll do is I'm going to go through the comments and chat with people while you guys are doing that. And I'm just apologizing in advance because we kind of changed our topic at the last minute, but there you go.
Yeah.
Anyways,
speaking of streaming, I had a hiccup on Rumble, but we are now running on Rumble at the moment.
Okay, good. Yeah. But StreamYard is messed up and it's affecting shows, and I'm sure they'll fix it. Technology's not perfect, which is why I'm very hopeful that we're not going to get taken over by machines or AI. I don't think as someone that's always had I feel like my whole life has been trying to trick technology into doing what I want because it never does what I want. I went out of my way and bought this new camera for the show. I'm like, all right, I can spend a little money. I got a camera for the show because I'm not in love exactly with the camera that I have. And it didn't come with the cable to connect it to my system. It is the dumbest. I bought a Sony camera, super fancy Sony camera, and it didn't come with the very cable that would connect it so I could use it. I'm returning it on principle because that's BS. I'm already angry. Can't you tell? There you go. All right. Let's.
I feel like I'm scrambling here. So
scramble away. All right. Some super chats here have already come in. Let's get right to it. Matthew Hammond says, I saw an article where Alec Baldwin is having his case reevaluated and may be charged with the Rust pewing. Yes, I've heard that. And then additionally, I've heard that they're actually going to finish that movie, which I think is a colossal mistake. I think you scrap it. I think whatever you donate it to the family of the slain cinematographer, to release that movie at knowing what happened, it's just something about that gut check does not feel right. It does not feel right at all.
So when it happened during Twilight Zone, I mean,
like Twilight Zone, they released it. And that was even more horrific.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of the manner of death by helicopter and 2 children. I mean,
and there's so many people involved in it as well, not just one person.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think you scrap the movie, and he may be charged. I don't see how. I mean, I don't know. I don't see how he gets out of that one. Robert Kearney for $9.99. Great discourse on the Nerdrotic Nooner. Looking forward to Film Threat. Yeah, you are very blooming right now. Video is weirded out. Yeah, like all my settings went out the door, and I'm trying to reset the settings, and it's like I can't even reset it. It's not letting me. But I do have a fancy new Film Threat shirt. If you go to shop.filmthreat.com, this is among the new designs that are in the shop. Our shop's getting a makeover. Our shop is going to get a makeover before the holiday season. So check out some of the new designs there. And Colt Seaman has been a member for 14 months, says, Hail, I've been away for some months and came by to ask, are y'all excited for Killers of the Flower Moon? Take care, y'all, in another 14 months. Well, thank you, Colt. I have seen Killers of the Flower Moon. I can't wait for Alan to see it. We are going to talk about it on Friday. I'm not sure if the trailer best represents the movie.
I'm not excited to see this.
I'll say this. I talked to a bunch of critics who saw the film at the same screening I was at. We had a discussion after. Normally the conversation's like, I liked it, I didn't like it, or this thing. It was across the board. Everybody really loved it.
But do you think it was the event you were at that may have influenced it?
Not at all. Not at all.
I mean, he was there.
Scorsese gave a very quick introduction to the movie. There were no stars there. It was just he introed the movie and he thanked some of the producers, and then that was it, like right to the movie. I started shooting it on video, and I thought, well, this is just boring. He's just listing off names. So, but it's a very good. I was surprised how much I enjoyed it, but we will talk about it on Friday, and we'll go into detail. That's our Friday.
I'll just say 3.5 hours. I was more excited about The Irishman than I'm about this one.
You need to be prepared. You need to be prepared, and that is like.
Well, I'm seeing the Wiggles documentary that day, and so I'm going to see this after it. So I'll probably go to a 10 o'clock screening, which means I won't get home until 2. And,
it'll be great. It's going to be great, Alan. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait. All right. Here we go. Alejandro Montoya Marin. Hey, good to hear from you. For 2 says, happy Wednesday, gents. Well, thank you for that. And Womp Biscuit says, loved Gene Wilder so much. Woman in Red, Blazing Saddles. The list is endless. Yeah. He's a legend in my mind. I mean, that creating the character of Willy Wonka. Have you seen there's a famous letter that's out there? You should try to find it, where he went into detail about how he thought Willy Wonka should look. And he actually did a drawing. It's really fascinating how much Gene Wilder cared about the interpretation. He's the one. He came up with the idea. Gene Wilder came up with this concept of walking out with a cane, and then you see that the cane kind of sticks in the ground, and then he keeps walking, and then he does the flip. The idea behind doing that we should.
I'll save it. We'll be reviewing his documentary later today.
I'll save the story for later, but it's a really interesting.
But it's outlined in that in the documentary.
They talk about. Okay, cool. It's a great story. All right, here. Some other super chats have come in from Rumble here. ADL24. I do more promoting of Film Threat than Chris does. Obviously, I was busted. Zod Lander says, great to hear that Monty Python is headed to the big screen again, as long as it's not a remake or remastered or whatever the F. Super chat here from Ban Brindlebeard III for 199. Seeing Anatomy of a Fall tonight. Any thoughts? I'm seeing it tomorrow. I'm seeing a different film tonight. I'm seeing The Boy and the Heron, which is the new Miyazaki film.
Yeah, I was supposed to be there.
So I'm going to see that movie. I'll talk about it Friday. And then we're going to talk about Flowers of the Killer Moon. And we're going to talk about Anatomy of a Fall. Friday is just going to be like nonstop tons of reviews. So today is going to be more of a chill stream. So I hope.
By the way, where are you seeing The Boy and the Heron?
I'm seeing it at the TCL Chinese Theater in Hollywood.
Yeah, I was supposed to go tonight.
Well, there you go. And Alejandro Montoya Marin for 2 says, Killers is the best film of the year. It is the best film I have seen this year. Straight up. I want to hear what Alan has to say.
Okay.
But Alejandro, thank you for saying so. Bowser's Furries for £2. That's, as Gary would say, proper British money. You think they shouldn't have released The Crow? I don't know. That's a completely different. I don't know.
That was a true accident, right?
That was a true accident. The circumstances are different.
Yeah, this was
the
negligent.
The lead actor bears some responsibility for what happened. The Crow was an accident. Twilight Zone was an accident. There's just something gut check doesn't feel right about this one. And this was more for Brandon Lee, a tribute. He would have been a huge actor based on that film. He would have blown up, maybe poor choice of words on that, but he would have gone on to greater fame, I believe. Magnum Norse for 5 says, I love you, Al Gore, but that inconvenient doc was kind of weak sauce. I'll say this, go back and rewatch that movie to look at the predictions that Al Gore made and see if they line up. Meaning,
so what percentage of the predictions do you think he made actually came true?
I would say 0 of them, because that movie was made a while back, and
it was like 90s, mid 90s.
No. Early 2000s. If I, look it up. An Inconvenient Truth.
Yeah, I got it. 2006.
Yeah.
Okay.
He makes predictions, and literally none of them have happened. Thank you, Magnum Norse.
Well,
but
all
yeah,
my life there have been predictions, but
yeah. MK Solid 82 for 199. Do we really need a movie about evil white men? Look, there are good people and bad people in this film. And it's a crime story based on a real event that precipitated that basically was one of the first cases that the FBI took on. The FBI was kind of formed to look into things like this. So I don't know. I mean, aren't a lot of pretty much all of Scorsese's movies about evil white men? Goodfellas, Casino, and we could go on and on.
The Godfather.
Taxi Driver.
No, I'm sorry, not The Godfather.
Godfather is Coppola.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, look, it's about a true crime event, and that is something that is of interest to Scorsese. We'll talk about it on Friday. If we could refrain from any questions about Killers of the Flower Moon, save it for Friday. Alan and I will both of us will give you our honest review. So, yeah, I mean, that's all of Scorsese's movies are about bad people. I think that people may be overreacting because of the element of the Osage tribe that's portrayed in the film. And it's maybe the timing, but I mean, Scorsese, I think that also flawed and bad people are interesting in movies. The last thing I want to see is like everyone was good and they all treated each other well and nobody argued or gotten any arguments. Freaking, that would be a boring movie that I would never want to see. You know what I want to see? Raging Bull. You bugging me about a steak? You bugging me about a steak? One of the best scenes in that movie.
But she found her voice.
Well, I mean, the marriage doesn't go well, but those scenes are great. I mean, those scenes are great. I mean, what De Niro did to himself.
There's a reason why we like watching stories about flawed people, and that's because we're flawed people.
And what we'll talk about it on Friday. I have so many things I want to discuss with the film, but I want to really dive into it. I want Alan to have seen it, but MK, you know, we will revisit it. I promise. And I think maybe it's the time that we're in that a thought like that, you know, I can see how you would come to that conclusion, but, you know, the historical event is the historical event. So yeah. Bill S. Preston Esquire says, yes, troubled and complicated characters are the antithesis of Disney Mary Sue. I'd rather see, yes, I want to see complicated people that are flawed, that are faced with, you know, that ask moral questions, and I like those kinds of movies. So Alan's background sucks.
Yeah,
as a serious man.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. I'm going, we're working on it.
It's all good, man. Let's see. We already got to that one. Where was I? You
got to unstar these things when you.
Okay.
You read them.
All right. Let me just do that. All right.
Yeah.
Just a few more, and we're going to launch into our main topic today. Want Biscuit says, R.I.P. Suzanne Summers. God, I loved watching them growing up. Yeah. And John Ritter says, Davina Duckworth. Hello, Davina Duckworth. Thank you for hanging out yesterday on the Dadcast. The Nerd Far Away says, I know Chris wants a bigger audience, but dang it, I like this smaller group where we've got little fellowships going and can actually interact with Chris. I don't think we'll ever get away from that. We'll always kind of be that way. I just want to get to 100,000 subs. That's all
We're so close.
It's like a milestone that, like, you know, YouTube sends you a plaque. It's acknowledgement. It's also, I think it makes us look bigger as a channel, you know, and it's a milestone that I'd like to reach. But in terms of the people that watch live, I think we've got a good audience, and I appreciate that, Nerd Far Away. See? There you go. And Lord Thoth reminds us to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, sign up as a member, and join us on Discord. Thank you for that, Lord Thoth. All right. A couple quick things before we get to our main topic. We got to talk about Award This. The nominees are announced. Tickets are on sale. You can go to filmthreat.com. There's an article with the list of most of the nominees. We don't have all the nominees, but the event live is on Sunday, December 10th at 8 p.m. at the Frida Cinema in Santa Ana, California. There's a discount code for tickets. You can go to thefridacinema.org. There's a link in the description of this episode. You can get 20% off tickets with Film Threat 20, which means if you get the cheap seats, it's like $20 and you could get 20% off that. It's like $16 for a ticket. You're going to be in the overflow room, but trust me, that's going to be, I call that room the party room. But I have something to share with you, Alan.
Mm-hmm.
I have something to share with you. And that is a 30-second, it's only 30-second teaser trailer for Award This. I have the trailer here.
Oh, wow.
Go full screen. Let's see. I'm going to make sure the audio, put this headset on so I don't.
Yeah, you have to mute yourself when you do.
Yeah. I'll mute myself. Let's check out this 30-second teaser. You'll be able to get the tickets. Use that discount code Film Threat 20. But here's a quick teaser that will show you what it's like. I like to think that our award show has a sense of humor. So here we go. Just check it out.
Independent filmmaking sucks ass.
Never give up the dream.
Here's to independent film.
This is to all the dreamers.
We love you. Thank you. It's a honor. It's awesome.
We did it! Vindication!
What the is this?
It's time to award this.
Well, what do you think?
Sweet.
What do you think, Alan?
Sweet. Brings back all the great memories of last year.
No, it was so much fun. Yeah, so join Alan and I will both be there. We've got even a highlight reel that we're going to post later too. I've been working on, but it's a lot of fun. So check it out. And you can actually watch past, this will be our 5th year. I didn't realize I counted wrong. The first time we did it was 2019. So this is technically our 5th year, right?
Yes. Is it? I'm going back to the couch. So the couch, the movie theater, the drive-in.
2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023 is 5.
Yeah.
So our 5th year of doing the event, you can actually watch the previous years and you'll see like it's this like sort of like unpolished, crazy, weird thing that just gets eventually a little bit better, but still retaining a lot of the train wreck aspects of it. It is kind of a train wreck.
Yeah. Well, that first year we were on a couch and we were watching the Academy Awards while our award show was going.
Oh my God. It was so cheesy. It was cheesy. But I thought it was a lot of fun. So anyways, let's I have to do a little thing here. I have to reset. Alan, while I'm doing that, you're looking up the box office for the Marvels.
Okay. What? What do you mean the box office for the Marvels?
Box office predictions, the Marvels.
Okay.
Let's get into it. Okay?
Yeah, got it.
And I'm going to put up the background that someone posted. Here we go. There's Brie Larson. Look at that. I have a couple thoughts on this, and I think that, and I'm going to be honest here, because Captain Marvel, the movie, made $1 billion. That is considered a hit. Additionally, there were connections and tie-ins, of course, to Endgame, which opened about 6 months later, and it was
Ant-Man came out after this one.
What's that?
I believe Ant-Man and the Wasp came out after this one as well.
Right, and then we saw Endgame. So these were the two movies that were in between, and The enthusiasm for the Marvel Cinematic Universe was at its height, absolutely at its height, to the point where Marvel could make a bad movie and people would still go see it. So here's the question. One, is The Marvels a bad film? What I have heard is that it's the lowest tested in terms of the focus group testing, the lowest tested of all the Marvel films. In addition, it tested at like a 35% of people. Was it like 35% of people liked it? Then this was the first version of the Marvels. They went, did some reshoots, recut, showed a different version that tested at 28. So it dropped from 35 to 28 with changes that were intended to improve it. This is not good. In addition to the fact that there's literally very little enthusiasm, not just for anything Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm looking at Loki here, but also this film. Tickets went on sale a couple weeks ago. I snagged my tickets in anticipation. Guess what? They're very easy to get. Plenty of seats still available for opening night in IMAX. This is unusual. And box office predictions are even worse. Alan, if you could throw up a link or put it in the private chat.
I got it here.
Here's what I'm hearing about the box office predictions for the Marvels. Okay, this is based on pre-sales. All right. 72% worse than Ant-Man 3. And Ant-Man, by the way, Paul Rudd, whatever you think of Ant-Man or whatever you thought of Ant-Man 3 before you saw it, Paul Rudd, universally beloved, not just as that character, but also, just as a character in the Marvel Universe. Ant-Man is just, Ant-Man is fun. It's not too dark and serious. It's a fun series. And I actually really enjoyed the first Ant-Man movie, which I thought was the climax of the first Ant-Man movie takes place in a train set, okay, in a little girl's bedroom. I mean, how crazy! Just the imagination, the fact that it's not like this universe-ending conflict. It's a train set in a girl's bedroom with things shrinking and getting large. The train set, of course, flies through the girl's bedroom at full size. It goes nuts. I mean, it's funny. There's also stakes,
Plus, my grandfather's restaurant appears at the end of the movie too. So
you got to put that in. Yeah. Your
That's
grandfather's
the best
restaurant's in the movie.
my grandfather's restaurant is in the movie.
Yeah. So look, Ant-Man was fun. 72% worse than Quantumania. That's not that we're talking pre-sales. Yeah. All right. Let's go through some of the article. I'll read this here. The latest box office projections. This is from. I can read it perfect. Could you scroll up? What's the
Screen Rant? It's from Screen Rant.
It's from Screen Rant. From Screen Rant by T.C. Phillips. We'll go to the summary here. We're just going to go to the summary points, and then you and I will discuss, Alan, because you have seen a scene from the Marvels, and I think you need to recount your experience. No, you have to tell the story.
I'll tell the story, but I'll have to clarify what you just said.
Okay.
I'll tell a story.
Please. All right. The latest box office projections for the Marvels indicate a disappointing outlook with an expected domestic box office opening of 50 to 75 million. That is much lower than Captain Marvel's $153.4 million debut, which is a very respectable debut for a film. But for a Marvel movie to open somewhere between 50 to 75, it's concerning. Pre-sales for the Marvels are significantly behind other recently released Marvel movies, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 and Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. While lackluster box office predictions are becoming more frequent for the MCU, it is unlikely to have a significant impact on the franchise's overall success. That's conjecture there, considering other revenue streams like merchandise and streaming releases. So this article presupposes from Screen Rant that sales of toys, sales of subscription to streaming services and whatnot. But I think it's a reflection. If we are to, look, this movie is going to open at probably 1/3, a half to a third less than the original movie. Normally, what has happened when it comes to these series is they tend to actually perform better than their predecessors. That's the history. If you look at Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2, or you look at Captain America, Winter Soldier, Civil War, they tend to do better. But the truth is that the highest grossing Marvel films traditionally have been team ups. I think that's what they're hoping for with this. And this is technically a team up. You need to have seen Ms. Marvel on Disney Plus, WandaVision on Disney Plus, which features the origin of Photon, and you need to have seen Captain Marvel, which I would assume if you're seeing the sequel, this is effectively the sequel. You'll have seen Captain Marvel, but a lot of people did not see Ms. Marvel. And in terms of ratings, you can look this up, but it's been repeated before that the ratings for Ms. Marvel were abysmal, among the worst for any Marvel show. I do happen to like the actress who plays Ms. Marvel. I think that I actually like her like as a person in real life, Iman Vellani. When you see interviews with her, I feel like she cares more about the Marvel universe or knows more sometimes than some of the executives at Marvel. She just seems to know her stuff. She knows the characters. She knows the world. So, Alan, what are your thoughts on all this and the box office predictions?
Yeah, well, let's tell that story. This was I was at D23 during the Marvel Studio presentation, and Captain Marvel, the Marvels came up, and they brought out all the stars. So Brie, Iman, what's her name was there, and the director, and then they showed us the clip, and I have to say it wasn't a clip of the movie. It was the first teaser trailer that they showed months later that came out. This was before the one where they switch places and where she touches the light. It was the teaser before that. And immediately after watching that, I texted you and I said, the Marvels is not for us. The thing that came across most in this teaser was that this is for teenage girls. That's the audience. That's the way this thing is presented as. Just bright colors, bright pink colors. We see Ms. Marvel screaming all the time as teen girls do, and it just felt like a higher budget Disney Channel show, which is exactly what I said about Ms. Marvel, which means there was just no thought that this movie needed to reach a broad audience, that all we had to do is just tell a story and everyone will come see it. But you've got to understand, you have an audience. You need to understand your audience and play to it. And it was clear to me at that moment that the company doesn't know their audience, and they're going to blame us. They're going to call us misogynist and racist because we didn't watch a movie that didn't appeal to us. And I think that's the problem with the narrative that the studios are going to spin, that it's our fault. Of course it's our fault because we didn't see your movie, Right. And so this is the problem. Yeah. No. And so it's not surprising me that there's no excitement behind it. Look, if the audience is teen girls, I don't even think teen girls are excited about this. At least the more nerdier ones are, but in general, again, you're trying to bring in that large audience, and they're not doing it. They're not gonna do it.
Well, look, I am. This is gonna sound. Wait a sec. If you have hatred towards men, are you a misterogynist? Does that make you
a manogynist?
Should we, a manogynist? Anyways, look, here's the thing. It's not as if teen girls don't love to see things and be entertained in a theater. Mm-hmm. Okay. But I'm going to say something that could sound a little radical. I'm just going to point out two huge hits in theaters that came out this year. Barbie, which was an event. I can't tell you, for more than a month after Barbie opened at the AMC Burbank 16, you could spot first of all, the parking lot was constantly full, which tells you about attendance. People at Yard House, okay, you ready for this? They ran out of Truly. As you know, I do like to drink a Truly now and then. They ran out of Truly. They said that the movie theater has been packed because of Barbie. And so they were out of certain beers at Yard House, which of course is known for having a lot of different beers and different drinks and whatnot. So they actually ran out. You could see the girls dressed as Barbie. They kind of made Barbie about themselves, right? It's not just, I'm going to go see Barbie. I'm going to do my Instagram and social media post and TikTok video about me going to see Barbie and what I thought, right?
They
so
understood
Barbie,
their audience. They
What's
appealed to the broad spectrum of that audience. And yes, men didn't like it.
But that's fine.
They didn't care because they knew their audience.
Right. They knew their audience, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Awesome. They should make a Star Wars movie for men. I have a sneaking suspicion that would be hugely popular if they made a Star Wars movie that appealed to men. That's crazy thought. But okay, so you've got that. You've got Barbie, huge hit with teen girls. The Taylor Swift film, which you and I both have still not seen. I'm assuming you didn't go.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Not for $30 bucks.
I had a free night and I thought about going and I did not go.
Yeah.
Because I thought to myself, it is going to be so creepy. This dude alone goes to see the Taylor Swift movie with a crowd of young girls. I'm going to take a hard pass. All right. Hard. And I don't, look, the only song I know is the one that they remixed with the 9 Inch Nails song, Perfect Blood. Yeah.
That means nothing.
Perfect. What is that? Anyways, they did a remix of, I don't know, Shake It Off with Perfect Drug.
That sounds totally awesome.
It's great. I can't play it.
I know.
We'll be in trouble. But look, the fact that the pre-sales, did you see what the insane pre-sales were for Taylor Swift? They added screenings. There were full screens that were 100% full that just, you see it very rarely on the app. And I'll check other theaters that are in the area just for fun. Just unscientific, checking out, sold out. Huge, no surprise, made nearly 100 million, not quite, but certainly has done better than what the Marvels will do. How is Marvel going to spin this diminishing returns? And if you track the box office of everything Marvel, starting with Phase 4, and even out of the yes, you can use the fact that movie theaters weren't at 100% capacity when movies like Black Widow and Shang-Chi came out. With Black Widow, they sold it on Disney Plus for $30. You could rent it. That was terrible idea, which I'm sure failed. But when you look at everything from Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals, those get a little bit of a pass on the box office because of the state of the world at the time. No longer an excuse. You're seeing the diminishing returns of everything. Ant-Man 3 probably being the biggest flop from the standpoint of, it was reported in some other articles that they thought it was going to be a huge hit. They thought Ant-Man 3 was going to be huge. But Alan, what are your thoughts on this box office prediction? You're looking at going from $153 million opening for the very first movie to 50. It could even be lower than that. Those are estimates based on sales, which are 72% lower than Ant-Man 3, which I would argue, I think a more well-loved character, Ant-Man, and Paul Rudd. Who doesn't love Paul Rudd? And I do think that the opening of that movie is kind of fun. When you see his life, it's oh, that's kind of fun.
I don't think anyone's complaining about Paul Rudd's performance.
Paul Rudd is not the issue. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah.
Anything that I've just said.
Yeah. I mean, again, look, they've, for whatever reason, we all know those reasons. Captain Marvel is not the hot property that we thought it was. People didn't see WandaVision. People didn't see Ms. Marvel. The idea that they would put so much money behind this. It just shows you where Disney is at currently. That, you know, if you make it, they will come, and they're going to learn that that's not a principle you can apply to the movie business. The other thing is, if Disney was smart, they would just stop promoting it right now. They would turn off the marketing budget and just let it release and get whatever money they possibly can. And then here's the other biggest misstep. I mean, I don't know if you know this, but in China, it's the Captain Marvel 2. And I will tell you.
Wait, what? Wait, so the title is Captain Marvel 2 in China?
Yeah, because China doesn't get Disney Plus, so they don't know these characters. And the other thing is, China is racist. Okay.
Oh, so let's see how big. I'm going to look up the poster right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to look it up. Okay.
I could be wrong.
I'm going to look this up.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, but you know, they're going to get virtually nothing from China on this one. And yeah, people are asking, let's see that poster.
I found it. I found it. Give me a minute. Give me a second.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you know, this has been Disney's mistake from a business standpoint for the last 2 years, is they overestimate they overestimate their properties, and they think that, you know, by the end of Endgame, you know, all they had to do was slap the Marvel label on it and people would come. And we soon found out that that wasn't true, which is why you got characters you don't care about having movies. You know, so that's, yeah. It was saying China's full of racists. Yeah, I know. I'm not going to argue that one bit.
What does that make you, Alan?
Does that make me an American?
I know.
I'm an American.
That's the perfect answer.
I know. My family left China 100 years ago, and we're not looking back.
What's the matter? Don't you like surveillance?
Yeah, I'm getting used to what we have now, but
yeah, exactly.
The social credit thing.
It's coming.
The only thing good to come out of China was me and food. So.
Yes, well, I appreciate your reviews. All right, I had to make some adjustments with it, but let me show you this poster.
Plant the eyes, did you?
What?
Nothing. Go.
No, I just had to it's that dumb thing where they do the WebP and then you can't use the graphic. I hate that stuff. So let's.
I wanted just screenshotting it on my iPad, and then
I have it. So let me show it to everybody here. This is the Captain Marvel 2 poster from China. You can see, I mean, they can't see what it says, but it says 2. Photon, though, is kind of prominent in there. What's the actress's name is? I have it.
The Asian actress, of course.
No, Teyona Paris. And then I believe that they added this character, Yan Daladna, played by Park Seo-joon. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. I mean, I don't know. That was my attempt at pronouncing it correctly. Park Seo-joon, plays Yan Daladna. Now, is that Captain Marvel's husband? I heard she has a husband in the movie.
Yes, I was leaked that too, and I kind of had to stop because I can't do spoilers on this one. I want to get the full impact of it.
Okay, cool. But you know, look, basically it's Captain Marvel 2, and maybe they've edited it so that you don't necessarily have to have seen WandaVision or have to have seen Ms. Marvel. They'll do some proper introduction to those two characters and give you at least a bit of a backstory and then how they get together. I mean, if anything, look, we got a taste. We had 6 seconds of female Avengers in Endgame, and now we're going to get an hour 45 minutes of that. The other rumors, so here you go, Captain Marvel 2 in China. I think that's interesting. The other thing is there is a clip, and I'll see if I can find it. There is a new TV spot for the Marvels in which Thor is teased. I'm going to find it.
Okay.
I'm going to find it and we're going to watch it. But Alan, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah. You know, the other thing that comes to my mind is if America is such a racist country, and and we're trying to go for diversity here, and yet Disney goes in and makes Captain Marvel 2, de-emphasizes all the people of color. Where's the woke bringing this up? Why is it so bad when we do it, but when China does it, it's nothing? Or it just this is my problem with the whole diversity debate. It's the hypocrisy of it all. We're not concerned about real diversity. I think we're just more concerned about tearing into the elite, so to speak. Going after these big companies with just whatever we can think of. And there's a little bit of the, hey, where's my part of the pie? I know I talk about how many Asians were in it, but at the same time, pandering is worse. Have you found it?
Yeah, I found it. Let me share screen here.
All right.
And we're going to get to your comments in just a moment, folks. So appreciate your patience. I found the spot. And you know what? I'm just actually just going to go to the Twitter account for this, because it's on Twitter, and I'm going to have to make it. Oh my God. It's super short. It's like 5 seconds. Let me set this up here. I got to adjust screen. Here we go. It's from the account on Twitter @ThorUpdate. And let me share it. And we're going to watch 5 seconds, folks. We're going to watch 5 seconds. So let me do that. We got a lot of comments. The chat is on fire. We're going to get to all these starred comments, all your super chats, I promise. But here we go. All right. Okay. Are we ready to watch this, Alan?
Okay, hold on. I want to make sure I don't blink. So, okay, go for it.
No, wait. Here, should we look like we can do this? Does that make us look any different?
Yeah.
No, let's go back to classic form here.
Yeah.
All right. I'll make it larger here. Okay, 5 seconds. Here we go. Ready? Don't blink. I'll play it twice.
I called a friend.
That's
what?
it?
I called a friend.
What?
Is that it? Wait.
I called a friend.
No, this can't.
Wait, no, I got a freeze frame. It's not letting me.
There's the pause button, isn't there? Or...
Yes, I'm well aware of the pause button. Okay. Maybe that's just Photon.
It has to be. I can't imagine Chris Hemsworth is going to come back for this. Or that
is that the Rainbow Bridge?
No, I think that has to be their power. It's not the Rainbow Bridge.
Oh my God, it looks so bad. Wait.
That was it.
Okay, you see something there, but it's not. There's.
Let's see.
You don't even see what it is. I'm going through it. What is this? This a Zapruder film?
Oh yeah, the comments saying that's not Thor, that's Valkyrie.
This maybe be. You know what? This might be a story that they put out to try to get people to come see the movie. I don't. You know what? I'm gonna say this is a rumor, not confirmed. I think this is wishful thinking. People want Chris Hemsworth to be in this.
Yeah.
That blob, it's a blob that could just be Photon. I called a friend. Well, the friend could be Photon.
I called a friend.
All right,
is that compelling at all? I mean, that's the thing is.
Yeah, it's a nothing burger. And they're saying it's rumored.
Hell yeah, it is.
I mean, I feel like at this point they're kind of desperate from the standpoint of, do you remember when Shang-Chi was being promoted and there wasn't a lot of enthusiasm around that movie, and they changed the campaign? They did this, and what they did was they showed a montage of all these other Avengers characters, and then they introduced Shang-Chi, your new favorite Avenger. And so, but what they were trying to do was tie Shang-Chi to all these other characters that people are already aware of and already like. So I don't know. I call BS on that.
I still like Shang-Chi. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, look, hey, I would more believe that Shang-Chi was going to be in this movie than Thor, and here's why. Because no one will remember this. I remember this. Pepperidge Farms remembers. At the end of Shang-Chi, there's a post-credit scene with Bruce Banner and Captain Marvel, who basically summon Kate. Is it Kate? Katie and Shang-Chi, and then ask them questions. Does that tie into the Marvels? What are your thoughts?
I think I'm starting to feel like that a lot of these teases were wishful thinking, such as a celestial head sticking out of the earth.
Right. There's so many weird Phase 4 unresolved things that seem to lead to nothing. But according to someone that I spoke to, the last 2 episodes of Loki season 2 will have an event that affects the entire Marvel universe. Now, when does that 5th and 6th episode, when does that come out? Because the Marvels comes out, I'm going to go calendar. Okay? I'm actually going to check a proper calendar.
Look, I will say this. Shang-Chi is the best Marvel movie of Phase 5.
Okay, this is very interesting to note here.
Okay.
I'm in the month of October. This Thursday at 6 p.m., you're going to see a new episode of Loki. That will be the 3rd episode.
3, yes.
3rd episode. Then the 4th episode on October 26th. Then the 5th episode is November 2nd. And then November 2nd. And then November 9th, you're going to see November 9th, which is the opening day of November 9th is opening day for the Marvels. That coincides with the day the Marvels comes out.
So November 9th, opening day of the Marvels, and the season finale of Loki. Is that what you're saying?
2. Yes.
So Loki comes first, essentially. From a chronological standpoint.
Technically, no, because
not everyone's going to see Captain Marvel 2 on Thursday night.
I'm just saying that what I'm told, an event that affects the entire Marvel universe and all Marvel characters is going to happen in those last 2 episodes, which is the 2nd and the 9th of November. The Marvels opens. I mean, they say November 10th. It's technically the 9th because they're the Thursday evening showings of the Marvels. So one might assume that something big is going to happen that will affect. Now, are they putting this out there?
Is people will more have likely seen Loki, the season finale, first before seeing the Marvels. I just want to keep saying Captain Marvel too.
Right.
It's kind of an interesting. I mean, you kind of have to play it in that order at this time.
Let's go to some comments here.
By the way, I will be at the movie meetup on the 9th for the Marvels.
Well, I already got tickets, Alan. I'll tell you what screening. Ryan Kinnell is in the chat.
Okay, so Shang-Chi is the best
4 movie. Lol.
Aside from the Sony ones, Shang-Chi is the best Marvel movie of Phase 4 and 5. I'm going to throw that one out there.
All right, fine. Ryan Kinnell also says Shang-Chi was made for you.
It was made for me.
Do you see yourself?
Part of the reason I like that movie. There's a lot of my culture, my Asian American culture in that movie.
And then Ryan Kinnell goes on to say from RK Outpost, shout out to Ryan, subscribe to his channel if you have not already. It would be Valkyrie if it was anyone. Lol.
Yeah.
I don't even know if this is Ryan saying this. Ryan doesn't really say lol. He says, I'm fucked, or we're fucked, or we are fucked, or I am fucked. That's the Ryan Kinnell that I know. Not this lol business. Lol is a thing. That's not a thing that I'm used to hearing Ryan say. But thank you, Ryan, for just hanging out on the show here, on the stream. Let's go to some more of your chat comments and questions. Solomon Thornton says, enough of the politics, Marvel, Hollywood. Just give us compelling stories and characters we can root for. That is how Hollywood came into existence. Super chat here from Albert Nada Retro for $5 Canadian. So that's more like $2, but it's okay. I'm joking. Hate for Men is called Misandry, your MRA pal. By the way, Brian Lee Martinez would probably do a chat with you guys. His talk with Eric July was good. Cool. That's cool. I love Eric July. But yes, I know I was just making a joke about Mr. Ogeny. That was a stupid joke, which I was going to say on occasion I do stupid jokes. I think, yeah. There you go. Alan hates any women-based things, lol. Remember his Homelander is Trump comment, says Kane Banner. And
I don't know how those two, yeah.
Verid Wolf says misandrist, yes. But I think Mr. Ogeny might catch on.
No, I'm saying manogeny.
Manogeny? This is just Alan and I, like, here's the thing. I'm going to apologize for it in advance. Alan and I are both dads. And we're both dads with daughters. We're predisposed to actually kind of like dad jokes. I mean,
hi, Dad, I miss you.
There's your daughter right there.
And then there's real daughter.
There you go. $8.24 from Rumble. Appreciate Rumble. Do you know the one demographic that doesn't give two shits about superheroes? Teen girls, 100%. This is the thing. They keep trying to force a thing. And I would even go so far as to say, I actually think that teen girls probably prefer super villains, like characters like Catwoman and Poison Ivy or look at the popularity of Harley Quinn. Yeah. When it comes to the superhero universes, I would argue that female villains are more popular than female superheroes. I think female superheroes are not all that interesting. And I would say that there are probably just as many male fans of Wonder Woman as there are female fans of Wonder Woman, which is fine. I like Wonder Woman. I like that first movie. I like parts of that second movie, and then it got stupid.
Yeah. I think teen girls love superhero movies just as much as they love Star Wars.
That's accurate. More comments here. Appreciate you. Also from Rumble, BMO better sub supporter. The budget is so high that will be easy pick to flop. But who is the audience? Who is the audience for this? The audience for this is teen girls. Now, they made it for teen girls. Will teen girls show up? I don't think they will. I don't think they're going to show up.
You couldn't make a teen girl superhero movie. It's just you have to understand how much money those teen girls are going to bring to the box office, or even the life after it. That's why the My Little Pony movies did well, because it was budgeted accordingly. It made money.
Or even, like, I would argue a movie like Bros, because it's an example that everybody knows, right? $50 million gay sex romantic comedy. That flopped because it was made for $50 million. Had they take the same script, make Bros for $2 million, it made $10 million at the box. It flopped badly. Okay. I think it barely made $10 million, but if you made it for $2 million with the same script, it would have been fine. You need to scale the audience to the demographic that's out there in order for a film to succeed. I know this seems very obvious when I say it. Hollywood has not seemed to have learned this message. A lot of comments. The chat is on fire.
I'm just saying, I went to college in the 80s, and it took business, and this is essentially what they taught me. I don't know what they're teaching nowadays, and I'm starting to wonder, do I even send my daughter to college?
Can I tell you how stupid this is? It's like making a car that cost $40,000 to make and then selling the car for $20,000. Do you know what? It's not going to make money.
Well, then you're racist.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, what? How did that come in? All right. Chat comments and questions here, starting with super chats. Albert Nada Retro for $2. says, however bad it is, the Triple X parody will be awesome. Unfortunately, my understanding is that Axel Braun has retired.
Well, he doesn't own the copyright or the copyright on Triple X parodies.
Well, he doesn't own the copyright on it, but Axel Braun, don't look it up. Axel, A-X-E-L, Braun, B-R-A-U-N. Very famous adult film director that does adult film parodies that are almost too accurate. I believe he made the one that was about the 1966 Adam West Batman TV series. So all the costumes were screen accurate to this Adam West TV show from the 60s. And he did a Batman. And based on what I saw, which wasn't much, it was kind of scarred me. It was like, I don't think I need to see this because it was so accurate. This is sort of a compliment and also like me acknowledging it's probably not for me.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this, unlike Marvel, those movies actually made money.
True. Let's see. More comments here. Thumper JDM for 10. Waiting for the inevitable free tickets to the Marvels to inflate ticket sales numbers. Buy a cup of coffee at Denny's, get 8 free tickets to the movie. Oh, wow. Yeah, they do those things. Like it'll be like, go to IHOP restaurants and get, spend $20, get a free ticket to Indiana Jones. Why did they do that? I mean, what are they thinking? But yeah, that's got to be coming. Silverlock for $9.99. Just want to say I loved Award this last year and bought several movies, including the funniest movie I have seen, Donnie's Bar Mitzvah. Yeah. Can't wait for this year. Oh God, some of the nominees. There's an article on filmthreat.com. It is a list of the nominees with links to all of the reviews, including Chop and Steal. Right, Alan?
Yeah, that's coming.
You haven't done it yet? You were supposed to have it by Monday.
I know. I have a severe knee injury that's just getting better, and so.
What's wrong with if you had a hand injury? I think that's a great excuse. The knee injury is perfect. You can sit around and watch movies.
Except for the radiation of pain that goes through your entire body.
How are you on here now? What are you taking like?
Well, I feel better now, but I'm starting to walk again, which is why I had to cancel a whole bunch of screenings. And then I took my wife's scooter and saw the Gene Wilder documentary.
Oh my God.
On the scooter.
Let's do this. Could you please bring the scooter when you go see the Marvels? I just want to let's play some jokes. Let's play some jokes. We'll do some videos with you in the scooter and we'll share them on the channel.
Yeah.
More super chats here. And thank you, Silverlock, for that. The show is going to be, we haven't announced all of the awards yet, just all the genre categories. And it's top-notch list. Alan and I, we argued about this for months. So Magnum Norris for 10 says, I would rather eat from a dumpster than watch another MCU product. Sorry, Beardo. Me no Reiki Spidey. Well, there you go. Castigan, member for 1 month, says, will Saltburn be any good? Looks interesting to me. I have not seen it yet. I talked to a couple people who saw it and said it was fantastic, but I haven't myself seen it. So there you go. Alan pushed an old lady to get his boo bucket at McDonald's, says MK Solid 82 for $4.99.
Oh, I remember.
Wait, what is this about?
Oh, I remember those. No, McDonald's during Halloween, the Happy Meals came in buckets, in Halloween buckets. And one was kind of a white ghost. I think the other was green witch and an orange pumpkin, if I remember right. But that's how you would get your Happy Meal back in the day when McDonald's wasn't so cheap.
The boo bucket?
Yeah, the boo bucket. I'm pretty sure that's what we're referring to here. I do remember getting it at McDonald's.
All right, that's weird. Yeah, I'm not a boo bucket guy. I'm not going to McDonald's trick or treating. Okay. So there you go. Let's see. Another super chat here. Suggestions for the name of the eventual Monday show. Monday Movie Meetup or Monday Movie Madness, says Leadwall for 5. I think we're going to call it Monday Movie Talk. Just keep it simple.
Yeah.
That way it's MMT, Monday Movie Talk. We're working on graphics for it. I have a graphic that I just got. I should just share it with everybody. Because I just got this graphic. And this is a tease because I know everyone is going to want to see this. You ready for this?
You're poking bears here, but
No. What are you talking about?
No, nothing. We'll talk about it later.
But I have a graphic. I don't think we're going to get, honestly, Alan, I don't think we're going to get to 100,000 by the end of the year. At the rate of our growth, we're just not going to. But once we get to 100,000, we're starting a third show, a third weekly live stream, and we're going to announce the date for the next edition of Critics Court, which is going to be Star Trek. Would you like a tease?
Yes.
For those who, hang out on the live streams, I like to give you all more. Here is the graphic to promote the first episode. Do you even get the reference? That's you as Sulu on the bridge of the Starship Enterprise, and I am sitting. I'm basically President Lincoln as the Lincoln Memorial.
Is this a Planet of the Apes reference?
What's that?
Is this a Planet of the Apes reference or?
No, there's a very famous Star episode from the original Star Trek series where basically, they go to this planet, they're battling these aliens, and Abraham Lincoln is in the group that are fighting. They have to fight with primitive weapons. And it's weird. They just sort of divide them up and start to fight. So I believe that that's a reference to that episode of the original Star Trek series. I thought it was great. So we're already working on all of these things, but I think our planning is going to go into next year. But Leadwall, thank you for that. Tom from Midnight's Edge After Dark. Hey. I drink chocolate milk out of my Film Threat glass. True story. Well, thank you, Tom. Subscribe to Midnight's Edge After Dark and all the Midnight's Edge shows.
By the way, do we still have a guest coming up?
Sorry, what?
Do we have a guest coming up today?
I might have forgot to send the link out.
Okay.
I'm
just dealing with timing here. That's all.
All right. No, we're doing fine. We're doing fine. Let's get through all these chat comments and questions here. Ozzy's Robots for 2. Marvel and Star Wars are damaged beyond repair. I disagree somewhat. I'll say that I think Star Wars is damaged beyond repair. I think the only thing that you could do with Star Wars is shelve it, throw it in the vault, and you wait for people to miss it. I remember, people don't remember this. I recall back in the, because I'm, old school Star Wars fan, saw it in the theater the week it opened at the Americana Theater in Detroit, Michigan in May of 1977. I was a kid. I was 11 years old, and I saw that movie. Man, amazing. I mean, just I remember everything about that day, waiting in line, thinking, why are people so excited about this? I was just going to see another science fiction movie. It didn't seem, the trailers for the original Star Wars were terrible. If you look at the trailers that were released at the time that Star Wars came out, it told you couldn't figure out what the movie was about. You know what the tagline was? It's about a boy, a girl, and a galaxy. That was the tagline. It's about a boy, a girl, and a galaxy. It was on the poster, and in the trailer, it was awful. They really weren't particularly sophisticated about marketing back then, but Star Wars was big, and then it went away. And I'll tell you it was the early 90s where Star Wars came back. Star Wars came back in a big way in the sense that people missed it enough that there were just a lot of cool stuff in the 90s. There was a magazine that was edited by a guy named John Snyder, who went on to actually edit the official Star Wars Fan Club magazine. He did a magazine called, I still have issues of it. It's called Report from the Star Wars Generation. And it was one of the coolest because it was made by a fan, nothing corporate about it. He collected in everything fandom that was happening in the 90s about Star Wars, but Star Wars kind of just went away. After Return of the Jedi, there were a couple of those Ewok TV specials Caravan of Courage, and the other one, I think I have them both on Laserdisc still to this day. But Star Wars, it went quiet, and any sort of little information was like the coolest. And you would get together. I remember buying toy magazines just to look at pictures of old Star Wars toys that I never bought or couldn't afford. So it was fun. It was kind of fun because it was kind of this cool underground thing. Like, oh, you're into old school Star Wars? Let's talk Kenner. Jawa vinyl cape. Okay, this is all super nerdy stuff. But
it had a life. Just the merchandising alone kept it alive for that long.
It had a life because of fans.
Mm-hmm.
And that made it more pure. And that made it more fun. It wasn't some corporate controlled messaging. This is what's killing Star Wars, is even the way they're promoting it is killing it.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think Marvel could be saved if they hard pivot. I say do a Kang Dynasty movie and just wipe away phase 4 and 5. Call it phase 6. We're going to do an abbreviated phase 6. It's going to be a 2-part Avengers movie, but they're not planning any Marvel series beyond what's already in the pipeline. There've been no announcements. There are things that are done that are just kind of waiting, but I think they're just going to crank them out. Maybe they can just do a hard reboot, call them Elseworlds, throw it on Disney Plus, binge model all the episodes in one day. But I think that Marvel could be saved if they acknowledge these issues. Magnum Norse for 5 says, Jesus Christ, Al Gore, you're pushing my limits for watching. What do you mean, pushing your limits? What did I do?
Is that I guess maybe referring to what we were talking about earlier, maybe? I don't know.
For watching what? Pushing my limits for watching?
Is it the Inconvenient Truth? Is that?
Yeah, well, I mean, look, you could watch that. It's interesting. I have an issue of Newsweek magazine from, I believe it's 1969, that has an entire article about how climate change is going to destroy the world. And pollution, and how we got to cut down on pollution.
Did it say when?
Awful.
Did it say how much longer the Earth had?
I got to read through the article, but I remember reading it and just going like, this is not, they've been fear-mongering for quite some time.
I mean, most likely, it probably says we'll never make it to the year 2000.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think that someone could make an interesting documentary about fear-mongering and do these things actually happen. We have, we put our trust in scientists. Well, let's see if their predictions come true. I'll say this, every prediction of, what do they call that when Jesus comes and just takes the good people?
Oh yeah. His return, the rapture.
Every prediction of the rapture has never happened. Okay.
Are you sure?
maybe actually all the good people are gone.
Yeah.
Except there are only like a few. There's like 10.
Yeah.
And we didn't notice it.
There's a book that came out. It was called 88 Reasons Jesus Will Come Back in 1988.
Yeah. We're going to get through these comments about Marvel, and then we're going to talk about Snow White and the Daily Wire Brett Cooper Snow White. So if you could prep that, do a headline for me, Alan, and get me a background. But I'm going to go through these final chat comments and questions here. Super chat here from MK Solid 82. Oh, we got to that one. A few more comments here, and then we're going to pivot topics. Ready, Alan?
No.
I love working with Alan. I know I tease Alan. Can I just say a quick Alan aside here for a minute? That when I grew up, growing up, I had 3 sisters. Okay. I had a sister I grew up with from my mother and my father. My father got remarried, and then I have a half sister. Then my mother got remarried, and I have a stepsister. So I have one of every type of sister you could possibly have. I also had, a lot of women in, single mom raising me, doing the best she can. I had 2 aunts that helped out a lot that live in California. Love my aunts. They were like Betty and Veronica. My aunts, they were paternal twins. So one was blonde, one was brunette. One is brunette. They're both blonde and brunette. I mean, they're both They're not both blonde and brunette. One was blonde, one was brunette, and they were Betty and Veronica. Anyways, my point is that male friendships are really important to me, and I always wanted a brother growing up. I never had a brother. So I'm just saying male friendships are very important to me. And on that note, all right. That's why I never had a brother.
Hated it.
So that's why I at least just sort of taking a step back and look, like, male friendships mean a lot to me. So Chris is super respectful to his fans. It's been a pleasure to watch this show. Well, thank you. It's not over yet. We're going to get to Snow White. Alan, did you find a Snow White picture?
Yeah, I did. Now I got to upload it.
Okay. Is it the one of Brett Cooper?
Yes.
Awesome.
That's the one you wanted, right?
Yes, correct. Yes. Okay. But thank you, MK Solid 82. Always like great commentary from MK Solid 82. Zodlander, I felt like I wasted my time on the first Captain Marvel movie and only watched it because it was said that the film would lead up to Endgame. BS. Zodlander, you're correct. A few more comments here. Holy Wars, if a Paul Rudd movie flops, what chance does Brie have? That's exactly the point, says Holy Wars. If something like, who didn't love Ant-Man as a character, love Paul Rudd as an actor, generally like the Ant-Man films, they were a little different. They were a little lighter fare than other types of Marvel movies. The Marvel movies each had kind of their own tone, which was determined generally by the male lead, because men love superhero comics. But yeah, that's the whole point. I don't think the teen girls, not to say that they're not, I don't want to be disrespectful, because there are a lot of female fans of comics and superhero movies, but I would argue that women like superhero movies that feature men, in particular Chris Hemsworth bare naked ass or chest, more than they do women. They like to see men. So there you go. Yeah, I Holy Wars, dead on. One Punch Man Tolkien fan, Alan TV grandfather restaurant or his real grandfather restaurant? Alan?
My real grandfather restaurant.
Is the restaurant still there?
It is. The restaurant's not in operation, but the building is still there. It wasn't in operation during Ant-Man, but the Chinatown will light it up for you for your movie and things like that.
Did you make any money? Did you make any money? The family?
No, we didn't make money. I mean, look, it's in Darkman. There's that scene where Larry Drake is chasing himself in a revolving door at a Chinese restaurant. That's the restaurant. Also, Moonlighting is back on Hulu, and the restaurant appears in the opening credits of Moonlighting.
Well, let's do this, Alan. Make a list of all the movies that your restaurant appears in. Let's grab those clips and do a little montage. We'll kind of still frame and then point Alan's grandfather's restaurant.
It's you don't need to point it out. It's pretty prominent.
No, but I'm saying
Friday with Lindsay Lohan. It's in there as well.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Davina Duckworth says, "How does real daughter feel about X-Ray Girl?" That is a very good question, Davina Duckworth. Thank you for being a member.
She likes X-Ray Girl. Yeah.
Does she know who X-Ray Girl is?
Yeah, she goes, "That's your internet daughter, isn't it?" I go, "Yeah, that's her."
But she doesn't. Audrey's pretty chill.
Yeah.
Your daughter's pretty chill.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. Let's see. Fable for 5. Ideally, the Marvels will be good. I hate seeing bad movies. Realistically, I'd be surprised if it makes money. I think based on the budget, I don't think it's going to succeed. So there you go. So, yeah, let's, any other final comments about the Marvels? We're going to pivot.
I don't think so. Yeah. No, go. Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. Moving on. All right, we're going to pivot. We're going to pivot here.
Nope.
I know how to do it. I know how to do it. We have a video for that. Right here. here we go. You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Here, I'll help you. There you go.
Okay, and what else do we need?
The banner. Yes.
Oh, by the way, side note, are you going to see Dix the musical? Because you love musicals. Okay. Normally when we have to before we do this, we need to say, normally when it comes to horror movies, I see horror movies, right? For the most part. When it comes to musicals, that's Alan's realm. Alan, are you going to see Dix the musical?
Yes, I will not be able to see Dix the musical tomorrow. So because it's only in one theater and there's 2 showings. And like I said, I'm seeing the Wiggles documentary tomorrow. The US premiere of the Wiggles documentary. And then I'm going to go see Flowers of the Killer of the Flower Moon, whatever.
Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, because it's finally now in Orange County, I can see Dix any day of the week. And if I wanted to, I could see Dix twice a day. So I will have my chance to see Dix, but I just won't be able to see them tomorrow.
Oh my God, I was so hoping you would do something with that. Yeah. All right. Of course, everyone's heard about the Rachel Zegler Snow White movie, which looks to be a disaster in the making. The 2 main reasons for Disney's Snow White turning out to be a disaster. One is just Rachel Zegler and her entire attitude, which is full girl boss, man-hating mode. Just does not a Disney princess make, in my opinion. So I think Rachel Zegler is a huge part of the reason this thing is going to tank. The second reason is also just the modern retelling of this fairy tale, just completely diverting from the source material and taking the fairy tale and just twisting it and modernizing it. We have seen, I think that Disney is seeing diminishing success from all these modern remakes where just a lot of just doesn't work. There's something about classic storytelling that just works. Now, the Daily Wire, if you're a subscriber, of course, the Daily Wire features pundits such as Ben Shapiro, Matt Walsh, who, we did review. We were one of the few media outlets to review What is a Woman. If you go to Rotten Tomatoes, I think there's exactly 5 reviews of What is a Woman. And it wasn't Alan who reviewed the movie on the website. It was Dante James. We did review it on our YouTube channel and we had a discussion. You're free to look that up, but Daily Wire provides a service behind a paywall for all their shows. They have now launched a new service called Bent Key. And Bent Key is specifically it's a children's entertainment channel, streaming channel that you can get that is, it's not particularly, I watched the trailer and did a little bit of investigation. It is not conservative. It is simply classic stories and cartoons that feature lessons like value and respect your friends, love your family, just sort of basic lessons that are useful for any child to learn. Additionally, on Bent Key, they've announced an upcoming Snow White and the Evil Queen. I don't know if it's a short film or a film, but starring Brett Cooper. And if you watch Brett Cooper, she does I watch her show. I don't watch her live streams, but I do catch some of the episodes of a show that she does called The Comment Section. It's wildly popular. She has over 1 million subscribers. She has a sense of humor. She happens to, she is more conservative, but she takes sort of a common sense take on everything. And all she does is she looks at an event, whether it's something in pop culture or it's something in the news, and she just reads the best comments. The comments are often more interesting than the event or the thing she's covering. And most of it is kind of lighthearted. So if you're not familiar with Brett Cooper, and maybe you would or would not be if you're a film fan. I find her really entertaining. What's interesting about her, just having, watched her, on and off for a while, she originally wanted to be an actress. She worked in Hollywood, and she had at least an aspiring career to be an actress. Didn't work out necessarily for her, but now she's doing Daily Wire stuff, comment section. Good on her. What I also found interesting, which really got my attention, was that she completely disagreed with Ben Shapiro regarding Barbie. They had a debate. If you want to get to know Brett Cooper, it's really interesting to see Ben despise the film, pointed out all these things wrong with it. Brett Cooper pointed out, I hear what you're saying. I recognize that these things are problems in Barbie, but here's why I enjoyed it in spite of that. It's a very interesting debate. I love diversity of opinions. And so I have a lot of respect for her, that effectively her boss, Ben Shapiro, because he's one of the founders of the Daily Wire, disagreed with Brett, and they had it was a fun debate. It was just fun to see them like, hey, they work for the same company. Ben's effectively the boss, but Brett is sitting here saying, I disagree with you about Barbie. Here's what I saw in it that you didn't. And if you want to get some other really good Barbie perspective, check out Danica XIX or Comic Book Girl 19 on YouTube. She did an incredible, probably the best video essay I've ever seen about Barbenheimer. She reviews Oppenheimer and Barbie, and she does a whole rant at the end about men and how men are completely being vilified in ways that are undeserved. And she does a whole rant about in praise of men, saying she's had great experiences with men. And she just goes through all the positive experiences she's had with men. And she also, Danica XIX or Comic Book Girl 19, also, she was on FNT last week, but she also did this amazing thing where she talked about the no fun Marvel moms, no fun Marvel wine moms, talking about how like all the women in the Marvel universe are just like not fun. They're all scowling and mean. Great thing. But there's a teaser. Did you find the link so we can show it? It's only 30 seconds, I believe, or under a minute. I'll find it.
Yeah, I missed the part where you asked me to do that.
Alan, we've been married long enough now that you should know.
Because I didn't realize. I thought you just wanted to talk about it.
Hey,
I didn't know you wanted to play the trailer for it.
Here's the thing. You've been in long-term relationships. At a certain point, you don't have to, that somebody, I'll tell you a preference right now. I'm going to tell you something about me that might be a little weird. I like French fries with mustard. I want yellow mustard. Don't give me fancy mustard. I'm not going brown on the mustard. Okay? No brown for me. Yellow mustard. Does that mean I'm racist when it comes to mustard? Who knows? Maybe. Anyways, not a brown mustard guy. Always loved yellow mustard. I have to ask for it often at restaurants. And I like my French fries with yellow mustard. After a while of knowing me, can you get a side of yellow mustard for my friend? We've been working together long enough.
See, that's a bad example because if you've ever...
It is a bad example.
If you've ever gone to a restaurant with my wife, the one thing I can count on is it will take her 10 minutes to order a meal with the service.
I think that is actually technically, I think that's just, unfortunately, I'm going to be sexist for a minute. I think that's more of a woman thing. Women are less decisive when it comes to ordering off a menu, especially if you go to Cheesecake Factory. Have you seen the number of choices? I literally know
it's not the choosing, it's the alterations that need to be made.
Give me an example
on the basic dish. It's the easy parts are I want the dressing on the side, but then it's, can you replace this with this? What do you think? Can you and so it just becomes this kind of elaborate thing. And the upside to all that, even though it takes a long time for it to actually get the order placed, When they inevitably get it wrong, we get it for free. So
well, then there's kind of an advantage to it.
There is. I've saved a lot. I may not eat quickly with my wife, but we save a lot of money that way.
All right, let's take a look at this. And just a note to Glenuccio, when you post this clip of us having this conversation, cut out all the mustard talk. Not just you can clip that all out. Just cut right to, little pre-conversation, get right to the trailer.
Yeah, I don't need a discussion with my wife in a Film Threat short.
Yeah, exactly. Or just like me being somewhat sexist. So, whatever. It's it's all in good fun. Look, there's plenty of things men do that's weird, that we could talk about.
Did you find it or?
No, I found it. Oh, I got to share screen. Sorry. I was about to play it without sharing it. All right, let's check out this clip from Snow White and the Evil Queen, which will premiere on Bent Key, which is a new app from the Daily Wire. And this stars Brett Cooper. It's a little 50-second teaser. Let's check it out.
Once upon a time, in time a prince would come. Once upon a time, but now that time is gone.
Only Daily Wire fans will.
Oh my God!
This is my first impression of this was this is a total troll.
It's a total troll. I think it's probably going to end up being a short film. I mean,
I would not be surprised if it came in. I would not be surprised if it came in under an hour.
That's what I'm saying. Is the original Snow White by Disney is only like 60 minutes. It's barely a feature film. So, look, I also think it looks a little cheesy. Like just because I've been watching Brett Cooper on YouTube for a while, and I genuinely like her show. I know some people complain that it's overproduced. I don't mind it. It's produced. They select the comments in advance. They go through the comments, and they edit it. They edit the show. It's fine. I don't have a problem with it.
Let's be real. It's not for us.
It's definitely not for us, but I like how it says a tale. Did you notice what the tagline was? A tale of timeless truth.
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
Yeah. Well, the whole thing is a troll on Disney. Who is it? Yes, Tom Siebert says Bent Key rhymes with Disney. The song there.
I happen to know that the name actually comes Bent Key. I learned this. The name actually comes from the original Daily Wire office. Was sort of like a back guest house or something at Ben Shapiro's house. Was like the Daily Wire office was like this extra thing. And they had a key that was bent. House, they literally had a key that was bent. And it was like this bent key. And so it just bent key. It does rhyme with Disney. Astute observation there, Tom Siebert. But
and then the song, that's When You Wish Upon a Star. That's their take on that. I could be totally wrong on this stuff, but is a total troll. Again, it's not meant for us. And two, this is one of those, if my daughter was a lot younger, I'd get her the app on her iPad and let her watch this film over and over again. I mean, the one thing about Bent Key is, it's you do get a sense that they're going to give you safe material.
Well, what the way I heard one of their pundits talking about it. It's not conservative, right? It's just not.
Well, it's traditional, which is essentially conservative.
It's not filled with propaganda or agenda. It's just a story, a family story. Appreciate your family, love your family. It's very simple, safe things for your kids to watch. Not conservative or liberal in any sense. Just values I think that anyone could agree upon. Right?
Be nice to your neighbor.
Or your coworker, Alan.
Don't lie.
Remember my mustard.
Yeah.
What kind of mustard do I like?
You like white mustard.
I do not.
You like yellow mustard.
That's like horseradish sauce. All right. A few comments here, and then we're going to pivot for some topics here. Jimmy Francis, Chris does better marketing for other channels than he does for Film Threat.
Yeah.
Well, I feel obligated. Like if someone like a Ryan Kinnell drops by and he's making comments, you know, he's very kind to me in his chat. He'll post a comment from me and throw a shout out.
Yes. But when you are asked, are you going to do anything after the nooner? Your answer is not no.
I can't believe I did that. That was stupid. I'm just, dude, you know what? I might have gotten a little sick from going to Son of Monster Palooza. I don't know if you saw the photos I posted on Instagram or Twitter. It's just pictures I posted from Monster Palooza. It was a blast. It was so fun.
Ted Raimi was there?
Ted Raimi, Sam Raimi, the hotel bar was all packed out.
Yeah.
And what did I do?
Ted Raimi, by the way.
What did I do? Pro tip from Gore here. I brought my own drinks. I had pocket drinks to go. I had a little cinch bag. I had a Film Threat cinch bag filled with booze. Guess what my bar tab was? Donut, 0. Because F this economy. Technically I did buy drinks for other people. I bought a round of drinks and whatever, but for the most part, I've just learned going to events like that and coming out of it with like $150, $200 bar tab that maybe I should do that less based on our current economy. And Harry Anders says, how do you like them apples? Exactly. And Harry, thank you for that. Stitch, member for 1 month. I feel for you, Alan. My wife does the same thing. Yeah. Like, you should know by now that I like sauce on side. There you go.
Yeah. No, I got that reference.
Spike in Madness. Chris is the French fry and Alan is his yellow mustard man. Is this going to become a thing like Crunchy Beaver? This is going to become a thing like Crunchy Beaver. There's going to be yellow mustard. Someone's going to do a yellow mustard video. All right. But it's, and one last comment here on this topic. Don't people buy you drinks anyways? Chris says One Punch Man Tolkien fan. Yes, that did also happen. People did buy me drinks. I bought around. I felt obligated, like, of course. And
yeah, that happened at your premiere of your documentary.
If you have the Blu-ray, oh, by the way, the Blu-rays of Attack of the Doc are back in stock. So if you go to attackofthedoc.com or shop.filmthreat.com, Blu-rays are shipping.
Oh,
so that's
I wish we could get a hold of that third Q&A.
The third Q&A, if anybody, I mean, just like I was.
You have it. Please let us know.
Yeah. Huge. I was plastered. Fletcher Williams, I Suck at Games channel, member for 5 months. Thank you, Fletcher. Appreciate it. Always like when you pop up. In and Out has hardly any menu items, and my wife still takes her time. We feel you, Alan.
Oh, yeah.
But I feel like that's just sort of a common thing. Like, if that's the worst thing you can say about your partner, that's actually not that bad. You know, like, she takes a lot of time to order stuff. That's not that bad of a thing. Yeah.
And she's very good about getting meals comped when they come in wrong. And the weird thing is people still like her afterwards.
She does it in like a nice way.
She does it in a very nice way.
Cool. All right, we're going to pivot. We're going to pivot to a very special Alan's Corner. Alan has something that ties into everything that we've just been talking about. Alan, before the stream started, we were talking about Disney. And so, Alan, I know you've got something to say about this. So hey, wrong one.
You got to insert yourself in these things. That's the thing.
StreamYard is broken. All right, here we go.
Wow, that beard kind of needs to come back, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So it's no secret I've been a Disney shill for a very long time. I've been a Disney fan from as long as I can remember. First movie, Mary Poppins, and of course we've all come to sour on the company at the moment. This past weekend celebrated the 100th anniversary of the Walt Disney Company, when I believe it's when Walt created Mickey, but it was when he moved out to California and started the studio. And so they put out a little short film here, Once Upon a Studio. And Chris, I don't know if you've seen it or not.
I haven't seen it. Let's watch it.
Yes. No, we can't watch it.
Why can't we watch it?
Well, it's copyright. We're just going to get struck.
How long is it?
Here, I'll just describe it to you. But you can see all the characters here. All the characters here. They're in the opening starts in the Disney Animation Building here, which you see in Burbank. The staff leaves, close the door, then Mickey and Minnie pop out of a painting and say it's time. And they go all throughout the building, gathering all the Disney characters over the past 100 years for a group shot here. And it was, I'll be honest, I had a good time with this short film. It is member berries up the wazoo. I mean, that's all it is your favorite characters popping out, interacting with one another. And, if that's what it was meant to do, mission accomplished. Great. There was, Lori Ormond just pointed out here in the chat what I was going to say, but there's a moment where Mickey turns back and sees a portrait of Walt. And there's a very sentimental moment there that worked. That just shows you the power of animation. And the thing that I walked away with from here, it was how this company has fallen. And this is just a reminder that the time of Walt and the time of even the Disney Renaissance back in the 80s and 90s is long gone. And it brings up a lot of questions. Is hand-drawn animation dead? It probably is, but even if you brought it back, is it going to mean anything? Ultimately we bring it up over and over again, but this is Disney at its highest corporate status ever. And here's the thing about, you just talked about the Daily Wire. I can guarantee you that the Daily Wire knows its audience, knows how much money it brings in, and knows how to budget this Brett Cooper Snow White movie. Right. I'm looking at the latest report on the Disney live action, movie Snow White, and the budget is currently at $200 million, which means it probably has to make $500 million to break even. Wow. And again, I've mentioned this ad nauseum, but Disney at the moment is not feeling it yet. I believe it's getting close, but the idea of failure is not something in their mind, versus when Walt Disney ran the company, and this idea of failure was always looming on his head from the 100 years ago when he started to the day he died. He could have easily gone bankrupt with Disney World when he was building it at the time of his death. And he certainly could have gone bankrupt not even having produced Snow White. And if it weren't for the miracle of a banking system that where you just show them what you've done with your movie so far, that Chase Bank will loan you the money to finish the movie. And so there's something about the desperation to make money, to profit, that tends to make better films than what we're getting nowadays, because they just don't feel it. And so, happy birthday, Walt Disney. Happy birthday, Disney Company. But do better. Be best.
Well, let me ask you about it. So this special, it's a short film. How long approximately?
It's about 10 minutes.
And it's on Disney Plus?
It's on Disney Plus right now. But it was they premiered it on Wonderful World of Disney on Sunday, right before the presentation of Encanto.
Well, I will actually take the time to watch it because I unsubscribed to Disney Plus. So I will know. I think I'm not gonna. My subscription ends at the beginning of November. So there you are.
Yeah, but a lot of the original voices, they either used the original recordings, or they actually brought the voices back. Someone had said that they actually got Jeremy Irons to come back to do a line for Scar. They found some old recordings of Robin Williams. His hundreds of hours of improvisation he did. they're able to clip some of that, and so Robin Williams has new lines as the genie.
That's
fun.
cool.
Even James Wood has come back as Hades.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think 2D animation is dead. When you look at television, everything from Futurama to Rick and Morty to other stuff. I mean, when it comes to theatrical, if it's a good story, people are going to go see it. I don't know why 2D is just not associated.
I would
with
say it's dead
anymore.
at Disney. I don't, when you look, I've been a fan of Disney animation since the beginning of my life, and just knowing the costs, the man hours, the people hours to produce a 90-minute feature, it's immense, and I can't imagine Disney wanting to invest that kind of money in people. And that's why they would rather do it in computers. I'll be honest, when the first movie I took my daughter to see was Tangled, and after watching Tangled, it was like 2D animation's dead, because the 3D they had done that, it replicated it so well. Computer animation had finally caught up with hand-drawn animation, which makes it difficult to go back to hand-drawn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, look, there's so many classic 2D animated movies that are just, I mean, look at the Winnie the Pooh films, shorts, look at some of the other classic features.
Bambi, I mean, Sleeping Beauty was, the art style of Sleeping Beauty was incredible. Bambi, look, the art designer of Bambi was an Asian. I mean, that's how progressive Walt was at that time.
I'm sure he really didn't care much. Do you have the talent?
It was about what you produce.
Exactly. Well, look, I will check it out, but I think the effect that it's going to have on me is it stands in contrast to what Disney and who Disney is now as a company. Mm-hmm. And it's going to actually, I think, not have a great effect, because it's going to remind people that Disney's best days are behind it.
Absolutely. That's exactly what I walked away with. They included the lead character of Wish in it, and it was just like, join the party. but again, it's just 10 minutes of member berries, and in this case, it was a good thing.
All right, well, I'll check it out. And unfortunately, today we're gonna have to kind of wrap up. I gotta get to a screening. I am seeing The Boy and the Heron. We have a few more comments here, so let's go through your comments, and then we're going to wrap up the show. Here we go. Fable for 5. Did they gender bend and race swap Walt Disney? If not, 0 out of 10.
Oh, sorry, they didn't. But I still question whether the Walt Disney Company cares about Walt Disney at all.
Yeah, thank you for that support there. 8 Ellis 24 from Rumble says, it has been nearly a quarter century since the end of the Disney Renaissance, and it is more evident than ever how much that voice of reason is missing in entertainment today. Yeah, it's disheartening. It's disheartening that that's where we're at. But that's what it is. All right, we're going to wrap it up today. Alan and I both have movies to go see. Friday is going to be a big show. We were supposed to have a filmmaker interview today. We will move that to Friday. There was a little snafu behind the scenes. One of us screwed up. Might have been.
It's your week, Chris.
It's my week to do it. Hey, I don't screw up very often. When I do, it's huge. I love it. I had a big weekend. What can I say? But we will be back on Friday with reviews of a ton of films, starting with Killers of the Flower Moon, a found footage horror film called Malibu Horror Story, another film, a Fathom Events movie, Onyx, The Fortuitous, and The Talisman of Souls. Plus, Alan will see Dix the Musical, the Persian
Non-time
version.
for Friday. Non-time for Friday, that's all.
When are you seeing Dix?
Like I said, I could see Dix anytime I want, but just not tomorrow.
All right, we're going to bump that to next week then. The Persian version, have you seen that? That was a Sunday.
Yes, I have. I've seen that.
All right,
version.
we'll talk about the Persian version. Another Body.
Yes, I've seen that.
Okay, good.
And Radical.
And Radical. All right.
We may be interviewing the star and director of Radical.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so And then we've got so Dick's. We're going to move Dick's to next week.
Yeah. So hold on. We're moving Dick's to next week.
Hold on to your dicks.
Yeah. So come back for Dick's.
All right. That's wrapping it up for us today. I want to thank Glenn Brown, our producer, who is knocking it out of the park. These videos, he's doing all the planning going into Award This.
Oh my gosh.
It's going to be December 10th. December 10th is the live event. We will put it on YouTube a few days later, but you gotta be there in person. Go to awardthis.com. Just a reminder to everybody, go to awardthis.com. You can there's a link for tickets at the site. I'm gonna share it. I'm gonna share screen right now. And the link to buy tickets is actually in the description. But here it is. Award This Sunday, December 10th at the Frida Cinema. Tickets as low as $20. There is an offer code, Film Threat 20. Put that in as the discount code. You get 20% off tickets. We have a limited number of VIP and gold tickets. You'll be in the main room, overflow room. Tickets are cheap. We just want you to see it. We want you to be there live. We have a liquor sponsor. We've got Neft Vodka is our liquor sponsor. So there's going to be cocktails, a step and repeat, a bar, gift bags. Why have you not bought your tickets yet? Buy your tickets.
We have a water sponsor, right?
We have Liquid Death is our water sponsor. So we'll have buckets of water all around, Liquid Death water.
By the way, this link is awardthis.com. Just
what is?
Our Award This website is awardthis.com.
Awardthis.com. Yeah, I know that.
We just said the link is in the chat. Yeah,
no, the link is in the description. That's what I said.
Well, yes, but awardthis.com. I mean, that's how hard is that?
Award this, but every time every time I try to say award this into like my phone, I'm dictating a text. It says award this. Computers are stupid. I don't know that they'll actually take over. But join Alan and I at Award This. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're both going to be there live. A lot of other people from Film Threat. We're getting very. I don't want to say yet. We have a comedian that's going to be joining us. I can't wait. All right, I don't want to see myself anymore. I get annoyed at seeing myself. But we'll hope to see you there. Thank you so much to everyone. Thank you to Ms. P. Coffee, waiting in the wings. She has, first, it's disappointing you can't see. She got a new haircut. It looks amazing. Looks amazing. Ms. P. Coffee is actually going to be she'll be at one of our meetups at some point. At some point, she's coming to one of the meetups. Also want to thank you to our mod today, Lord Thoth, and all the mods of moderating past. And I want to thank you for tuning in. There's still like more than 600 of you watching live. I think at our height, we had about 800 people watching live. We're plugging along. We're trying to do better and better.
Yeah.
And
we're at 93,000, by the way.
We're at 93,000 subs. Only 7,000 more to go until we get the Star Trek Critics Court and Monday Movie Talk, MMT.
Look, we've got the Marvels coming up, and then we've got Aquaman. So maybe we can push it over.
I doubt it. But Friday is just going to be review after review after review. It's going to be big. And Epic Mike says, yo.
Hey,
Epic Mike and I are going to do a special live stream. Maybe we'll do it as one of our kickoff. I want to do a special live stream with Mike because I want to teach him how to make money making movies. What I'm going to do is on the live stream, which we'll do on this channel, Mike's just going to ask me a bunch of questions. And what am I going to do? I'm going to give him phone numbers. I'm going to give him websites. I'm going to give him advice. I'm going to tell him real world how much money you're going to make. If you scale what your movie costs, you're going to be able to make money making movies. I'm going to go through that whole conversation, and I'm going to do it not just for Mike, but for anyone that wants to hear. Here's a website. Here's how you get this done. I'll tell you where I got my Blu-rays replicated and how much it costs. I always would. This is what annoys me about Hollywood. A quick Gore rant here. I'm doing this for Mike. What annoys me about Hollywood is so many people in this industry, they hold their cards close to the chest. They don't want to share contacts. They don't want to share information. I like to share information because I believe I've got some good ideas. I'm going to do some good, but it's really hard. It's hard to make, it's just as hard to make a bad movie as a good movie, right? Filmmaking is hard. It's also super fun. It's super fun to do it. One of the things you'll see if you watch behind the scenes with Quentin Tarantino on a lot of his films, he says, why do we do this? Because we love making movies. And the entire crew just has this chant. He has an attitude on set of making it fun. I mean, I try to have a fun spirit of doing Film Threat so it doesn't feel like work. We're constantly joking, we're goofing. Even like if you look at our kind of private work chat thing, it's just us goofing, wishing each other happy birthday. It's not corporate at all. But the point is the reason I want to do this for Mike is because Mike is going to ask a lot of questions that you are already thinking. And I want Mike to go, here's the company where you can get this. Here's where, if I could do it differently, I would have gotten my Blu-rays replicated in a different state. I had them done in the state of California. I paid more for tax. If I got them done in a different state, but then I would have had to have a warehouse. So there are all these little subtle things that are important to consider when you're building a business. Mike, we're going to go all through it. Epic Mike says, I'm pumped, man. And Epic Mike goes on to say, the better connected we are, the more we can lift each other up. A rising tide raises all ships. I have always felt that way. And what's great about indie film, for the most part, people want to help each other. Mm-hmm. So we'll go through, we'll talk filmmaking, production. It's going to be a long stream. But what I want to do in there is I'm going to give you, it's going to be like the ultimate, like everything that you need, soup to nuts. And we're just going to go through pre-production, post, film festivals, promotion, release, distribution. Boom. There's my outline. And we're going to go through it all. And I'm going to give you the names of companies. I'm going to tell you the right questions to ask. It's not just about like, it's a lot of his questions you need to ask. So there you go. Thank you, Mike. Always good to hear from you. Heinlein says, if Alan likes seeing dick, that could get over 100,000 subs. Yeah, it probably could. Yeah. A few more comments here. Watched Chris's movie rants on other channels. Film Threat deserves 1 million subs for all the work they put into reviewing films, says Pyro Morpheus. Well, thank you for that. It does disappoint me a little that there are several videos I've done that have in the multi-millions of views, like 3-4 million views that are on other channels. And I'm thinking, Alan was saying, what did you tell me? You were mad at me.
Yeah. It's like, why are you giving it to them and not to us?
Alan was right. It's one of the few
offense to Film Courage.
Yeah, no offense to Film Courage at all. No offense to Film Courage. But if you look at their channel, all the highest viewed videos are ones that I'm in. I'm like, why don't I should just film myself talking about movie stuff. But yeah, it's one of the few times Alan is right.
Yeah, thanks.
Last comment here from the dog catcher. It's in his fiber, enthusiasm for the act of making movies, movie making and screening. Yeah, that's if you're talking about Tarantino, when you look like one of my favorite, there's a really good interview with Quentin Tarantino, throwing this out there. He and Robert Rodriguez, they did it for the El Rey channel, but it's on YouTube. It's like a 4-part interview, or I think it's a couple, I don't know, is it 4 parts, 2 parts? Anyways, it's a couple hours, and it's just Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino shooting the shit. And Robert Rodriguez has known Tarantino for a very long time. So he shows like videos and letters. He talks about phone calls. He shows pictures. Like it's like a mini documentary about Tarantino. And he has this, you understand why Tarantino is so successful, because he's so passionate. He's so passionate. All right, some final comments here because they're rolling in. Tom Siebert says, lol, more fake endings on Film Threat today than a Spike Lee movie. This is, you know what this is? This is the end. This is the end credit scene. Yeah. This is the end credit scene from a Marvel movie. Let's see. Gun Home X says, Alan is right, Chris is white. Well, there you go.
Lord Thaw says, third act, right?
Lord Thaw says, this is a Filipino ending. And then Patrick Lemire, hey Patrick, I found Film Threat YouTube via Film Courage. Alan is wrong. There you go. And from Rumble, $8.24. Chris should go full Taylor Swift and re-record his old rants again. Oh, that's not a bad idea. If I just, because I know what I say, but the Film Curse, by the way, they live like 2 miles from me. The couple that does it, Karen and David, really sweet couple. And I go there and I'll talk to them for like 2-3, like the end, it's like 3 hours and I've just been talking. They kind of just let me talk. And the woman, Karen, who does it, she's very good. She really prepares. And her husband, David, is a cinematographer and he is exceptionally talented. Obviously I can't get a camera to work here. My camera is still sort of whatever. But yeah, I should do that.
They're hardly Scooter Braun. So
what's that?
They're hardly Scooter Braun. The guy.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, I had one more really important thing. No, seriously, I had one more really important thing.